What's up, guys? Welcome back to Average Sakes.
Welcome back. Your favorite podcast is back. Monday,
Yo,
7:23, and then at night.
Well, we got some good and bad news for you.
no, all
Mostly
bad.
Bad.
Bad
Mostly
news
bad.
first. Padres have fallen out of playoffs currently. They are 2-8 over the last 10. Have had the worst slump of the season this past month. August has been nothing but bad. Good news is we finally get rid of Larry Rothschild.
Thank
Rothschild
God.
has been fired today, Monday, day off.
How you get fired on your day off?
How do you get fired on your day off, man?
How do you get fired with
You're right, yeah.
5 weeks left in the season? That's literally no
Well,
point.
There's a reason. Since June 15th, Padres' entire staff has a 4.74 ERA. And, I mean, there's two ways you look at this. One way is that this is a long season. We're in the dog days of the summer like we talked about all year long, like we were thinking. Or sticky stuff was a real factor to the way the Padres were pitching to start this year. Those are two ways that I'm looking at it right now. I mean, injuries are one thing. Yes, that does not help. You hasn't been healthy for a month.
And that falls into your sticky stuff.
Dealing with back issues and such, and that falls in line with sticky stuff. The reason that these guys are getting hurt is because they have to throw the ball harder, grip it harder, hold it harder, tighter.
Get used to trying harder, basically.
Throwing, yeah, like it's different motions and such. But I mean, this was a move that needed to be happen. I wasn't really excited when we signed Larry. The problems I saw the Yankees run into were a lot of the problems that the Padres are running into. Heavy off-speed stuff. Guys are getting hurt. Elbow injuries. Larry was heavy slider always for the Yankees. We saw a lot of their guys go sliders. Luis Severino still hasn't been back from his Tommy John 3 years now, it seems like. It's like 2 or 3 years for him. I don't know. I'm not in the clubhouse, but guys like Weathers, the last month and a half, 2 months have been terrible.
Yeah, and I mean,
we've been putting a lot on them. We have healthy starters right now.
That's true, but
Snell and Weathers.
You can't. For him, like his mindset can't be, oh fuck, I gotta pitch. Like that should be an opportunity. Like I get to shove today. Like I get to prove
but the coaches put that mindset into his head. Why'd they send him down? He was on fire. They sent him down. That ruins your confidence right off the bat. They want him to come back and start shoving again. They should have kept him on the team, bro.
I mean, yeah,
I get that. That is a very appropriate from that angle. Why do we send him down when he's shoving?
Why you send him down when you're shoving? It kills your confidence.
Same thing that we did with Chris Paddock a couple years ago, it seems like.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's Larry's move. I don't know if that was a team as a whole or management from up top. But, I mean, right now, it seems like I think it's time to send Weathers back down. He has a 14.26 ERA. He has 28 runs in the last 30 days he's given up.
I also think that has to do with Larry, though, because as we were talking about earlier, he's one of the hugest assets to coming up with a game plan to attack these teams for like his pitchers. And his best pitch is definitely his fastball. He can locate his fastball anywhere in the zone. And when he gets away from that, 14.26 ERA in the last 30 days. Like you gotta, if as a pitcher, you want to throw your best stuff. And if that's not working, then, I mean, the Padres came to a point where they assume the problem is Larry Rothschild. So he's gone now. But I mean, it's kind of like insult to injury because we're already down bad, and then we're just
why so late?
Yeah, why so late at this point? But I don't know. Maybe
I mean, it's honestly this stretch of games is what happened. Is this last 2 weeks we have been absolutely terrible.
These last 3 series were must win.
Okay, so you can't fire your coach going into 3 must-win series. You have to play it how it is. You hired this guy, giving him 100% of the role, You know, we got rid of someone who's been with the program forever. Padres bullpen had never been bad. Damon Easley had been a part of this program for a long
Darren
time.
Balsley.
Darren Balsley, I mean, whatever.
Easily the hitting coach.
Oh, Easley's the hitting coach. But Balsley had been a part of this program for years. And now he's been gone, and we've been running into starters all of a sudden can't pitch deep into games. We've lost control. We are giving up more runs than usual. Yu Darvish has given up more homers than he has in a long time. I know he's a homer type pitcher, but he's going into a ballpark that doesn't give up home runs. Like, it really doesn't. You have to be a true power hitter to hit balls out of Petco. He's given up a homer almost every start.
Yeah,
Yu Darvish is saying that a 6.97 ERA the last 30 days.
Wow.
Super frustrating coming from Padres fans, just because, like, yeah, we do play our best baseball against the best teams in the league, but like now we're at a point where we can't, like, we have to play our best baseball for the rest of the year. Like, there's no more losing series no more. There's no more losing the D-backs. There's no more losing the Rockies. Like, we have the Giants, the Dodgers,
Astros,
all these teams who are playoff caliber teams right now, right at this moment, they're in the playoffs. And like, to expect the Padres to go in and just dominate these teams is so hard. Like, it's so hard to just expect them to do that.
It's hard, and you know,
I'm canning this season. Like, we're done 2022.
I'm not canning this season because it's not over till it's over. The Padres are a half game out of wild card. You can't can this season.
The Reds are
just
red
because.
hot.
Okay, but you can't just can the season because we've fallen a half a game out of wild card. I've lived my whole life missing playoffs. I'm not canning a season, but we're 10 games over 500 last month. This is still doable, but things have to change. Like, Larry's out. These pitchers need to realize that, hey, the one thing we're blaming it on is Larry. Now it's time to put up or shut up.
Who's the replacement?
Trevor Hoffman.
I don't know, but
his name's Ben Fritz.
Ben Fritz was the like assistant pitching coach, so he's stepping into the role. But like, this Padres team, it's definitely going to be hard. They have one of the hardest schedules remaining, but pitching has literally been our problem all year. Like, yes, we do have games where offense isn't there, and your offense isn't going to be there every single night. But out of our division, we have the least amount of quality starts. Quality starts is when a pitcher goes 6 innings with 3 or less runs given up. That's it. The Padres have the least amount in the division. So, I mean,
is that good?
No, that's not playoff worthy. We literally have 35 quality starts. The Dodgers have 91, almost triple.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, injuries are definitely a big problem. The Padres lead the league in DL days by 200, over 200 more DL days than the next team. So
and then when
that's
we don't
a huge
get any
problem.
Improvements at the trade deadline to make our team better, we are stuck in this situation now where it's fire our pitching coach, blame someone else. Like, it's so hard. We're so down bad. Like, I want to trust AJ so much because he's created this monster of a team that we have from literally ground zero. We were nothing 5-6 years ago, and now we are, roster wise, on paper, I say we're a top 3 baseball team. Like, with 100%. The guys on our team, and to see us just, I don't know, it feels like we're giving up.
It
but
comes
then,
down to health, like we've been saying.
Yes, health, but it just, guys aren't doing what they're supposed to be. Since the trade deadline, Manny Machado 196. 222 and 275 slashing line.
Yeah, and
that's terrible.
I think he only has, I don't know if it's true, but his one home run was that laser that he just hit last week.
Yeah.
Laser
perfect,
116. Perfect hunted P. But yeah, you're right. We can't have Manny hitting 196 if we want to win games. And adding on to that, Fernando was not in the lineup for probably 2-3 weeks of that since the trade deadline. So when you don't have Manny living up to his expectations and you don't have Fernando even in the lineup, like, who are we relying on?
Yeah, we're relying on.
And Jake the Rake has been slumping bad too. Like,
yes,
his home run in the 9th inning was absolutely clutch, was absolutely insane. Like, I thought that was going to be the moment where everyone sits back and like, holy shit, this is our team. Like we can run with this. But I don't know. The next day
It has definitely
shit the bed.
yeah, it felt like this season was saved on that night because getting just like absolutely dominated by Nola was just like heartbreaking. And then I thought it was going to help us the next day, but then we get absolutely dominated again.
Yeah, by a bad Phillies team.
By a bad Phillies team.
One game over 500.
Yeah, bro. Like I can't give up on this season, but right now I'm like,
I don't want to, trust me.
Well,
like
the way that it's
keep
looking,
going and give these
worse.
stats because we do have the hardest schedule remaining left in MLB. So all these like statistics and all these little things that are basically just going against the Padres. Like everything is leading up to Padres don't make the playoffs. We're missing playoffs by 2-3
under
games.
50% chance to make playoffs for the first time all season. This is a team that hasn't dropped below 500 all year, and this is the only team in the MLB that hasn't dropped below 500. So I still have faith in this team. I believe that they could turn it around, but it's going to have to be an absolutely electric turnaround and like start sweeping these games. Like, and it's going to start tomorrow night.
It has to start with the pitching.
And it's going to have to start versus the Dodgers, and we're going to have to take out a fucking hot team. The Dodgers are 9-1 in the last 10, 2.5 games out of first, and they are all eyes set on the prize.
I honestly think the craziest part about this whole division is the Dodgers and the Giants are both 10 games above the Padres. The gap from second to third is 10 games. Like that's absolutely
it wasn't like 2 weeks ago. It was 4, 5, and now it's 13. Padres are 13 games out of first.
A good thing, I don't know, I want to say it's 18 or maybe 19 games, but out of those 18 or 19, we do play the Giants and the Dodgers for the next month. So if we can go 18-0 in those games, that's definitely 10 games back and we're somehow in first place, but that's not going to happen.
That's impossible.
It's going to be very hard.
Impossible.
Yu Darvish is coming off the IL this week. We're going to have to face Mad Max and Walker Buehler versus the Dodgers.
I'm not worried about
That's 100%.
I'm only worried about Walker.
But as long as we don't get swept, this season's alive. If we get swept, this season is just about over.
So it's so hard to see like promise in this team right now. It's so hard to be
excited or
positive, honestly.
Yeah, positive.
There's a couple things I'm looking forward to. I'm definitely looking forward to the final stretch because this is when best baseball gets played. I'm looking forward to the end of the month to see how Fernando finishes out because right now he's MVP, but a lot of people are on his head. Not a lot of people think so. Not a lot of people are a fan of his. But I think he's MVP, but he's going to have to finish this month strong.
Yes.
And that's what I'm excited for. So as Padre fans, even if this season ends and we do not make playoffs, look forward to Fernando Tatis and the future of this team. Tatis is 22. This team isn't going anywhere for a long time.
I'm looking forward to.
You know, AJ messed up this deadline by not wanting to give up. Or did he? Maybe he's looking for the future.
We don't know his offseason.
That's what's so confusing to me is AJ has been a go-getter. He's basically done. He's gotten the players that we needed, and then this trade deadline, he didn't really do much. So in the back of my mind, it's like, what if he's the smartest guy in the earth? Like, what if he has
in the earth?
There's also a lot of free agents this offseason.
Yeah,
so if he could still flip someone, either Hosmer or Myers, one of them has to be flipped this offseason. And I know all you diehard Padre fans hate to hear that, but this team cannot get better with two guys who are absolutely not helping this team. I know Hosmer has decent numbers, but he does not hit the ball out of the stadium. I mean,
doesn't field well either.
I think you plant anyone in the middle of our lineup, and they do just as well. I think if
Okay,
Hosmer could hit,
I get what you're saying. Hosmer, you're right. Hosmer is not a big power guy, and the batting average stat has kind of gone out of the window. Not many people are big batting average guys, but like, so do you want to see like a guy go in there and hit 215 with 30 bombs though? Like, is that what you're looking for? Because those guys are out there for sure, but I don't know if that's what we need. I don't know though.
his 397 slugging is just terrible. Like it's just he doesn't hit the ball hard. Everything is soft contact, bloop base hits, and yeah, he might be hitting 277, but everything is just little ground balls. Like I don't know. I mean, it might not just be Hosmer. It's definitely Will Myers too. Like he's not doing as well as anyone thought he was going to. Like they thought this was a career year for him. Will Myers
Yeah,
is doing a
We need extra
just
base hits.
average.
he's kind of just doing what he does though. This is nothing special, and this is kind of all Will Myers has done his whole time in San Diego.
Yeah, but if
Last
you
year,
look at his last year, that's what everyone was thinking he was building on. He's hitting
yes,
the
yes,
mid prime of his life.
which you should as like baseball people. Like some guys aren't their best when they're rookies or second years in the league. Some guys age like fine wine and literally start raking
And the
10 years in.
limelight was finally off of him. He was no longer a top name in this team.
Yeah, the pressure was off. So I don't know. It's tough to talk about this team.
It's
right
tough
now,
because I'm such a big
no one's
fan.
really doing good either. Like we can't really talk about how good everyone's
It's
doing.
literally
Everyone's sucking.
Fernando Tatis, and he
Fernando
hasn't
Tatis
really
is doing
played.
the best. Yeah.
That's what this team died when he got hurt the second time. His shoulder popped out again. Because we went on a stretch versus easy teams and couldn't win. Like that's what ruined our season. And it has a big chunk to do with us not buying in at the deadline. That might be because we're looking for 2023, Lamet, I haven't seen him. I know he just threw a bullpen. Chris Paddock threw a bullpen. Yu Darvish threw a bullpen.
What about Clevenger? He's coming back in the month.
Next year.
No, he'll be
Next
back
year?
next year. There's no point at this point in time. There's absolutely 0 point to rush him back.
What if we make the playoffs?
Still
if
no
we make
point.
the playoffs, I still don't see him coming back until
I'd rather see Gore.
What if we make the playoffs?
if we make
Where's
the
Gore?
playoffs, I would love to see Clev come in as a bullpen
Yeah.
arm, 1-2 innings.
Love that.
Because
He hasn't even thrown. There's no shot. It's August 23rd. There's a month left and a week, and he hasn't thrown
just an
That's-
inning.
a single simulated game. He hasn't thrown a single off-speed pitch yet.
It's whatever.
Like, there's
Well,
no point
and-
to rush someone back like that. He's going to be such a big part of our team next year. He has all this offseason to get healthy again, bro. I do not want to rush him back. I need guys who could go deep into games, and he could throw deep into games.
Yeah, but I mean, I would rather have him than I don't know.
I can't rush him back from injury and ask him to pitch this year.
But
I would
that's
rather
high-
see I'd rather see guys from AAA, AA, single A at this point. If we're fighting for first and going to playoffs and he's already pitched a month in the minors on a rehab and he's like tiptoeing the door, yeah, I'd love to see him for an inning.
That won't happen.
But he's not anywhere close to that, is what I'm trying to say. He hasn't thrown an off-speed pitch.
You don't need. All he needs is a fastball.
You're not getting what I'm saying.
I am getting what you're saying. I'm just fucking around. I don't see him coming back. It's a prayer for me to say I want to see him in playoffs, but it's also a prayer to me that we even get to the playoffs. So
At this
Which
point in
one's
time,
first?
yes.
because for him to pitch in playoffs, we got to make playoffs. And it doesn't look like that's happening anytime soon,
Exactly.
given the numbers we just talked about, given everything that's happened within the last 2 to 3 weeks.
Unless Larry Rothschild was literally the devil in disguise, and all of a sudden something happens where everyone turns around. Which happened with Sonny Gray instantly after he left. A lot of different guys got better.
Yeah, and the only I'm trying to bring a little bit of optimism before we move on, but like Manny hitting 196 the one good thing about Manny is when he finds it and he gets clicking,
He's
he's
hot
hot
for
for
a
at
while.
least a month. Like,
Yeah.
and that's what we need. But I don't know if we're
We
gonna
need
get
this
that.
team to get hot right now. Like
The
now,
one
now,
thing
yesterday.
I want to touch on
Like
right
today.
before we move on from the Padres. Last thing, Reds are facing the Brewers this week. Tomorrow's Corbin Burns. If the Padres could do what they do versus the Dodgers, we're 8-3 versus the Dodgers this year. If they could magically pull something together to make my
Right out
heart
of their
beat,
butt. I don't know.
this could all change because that could like change everything. They went on a hot tear.
Nobody is better than Dodgers right now. So like
No.
if you
Giants.
can somehow put together 2 wins at the least, 3 wins would be amazing. Too much to ask for, but would be amazing. This team, that's all they needed. Look, we can compete with the big guys. We can compete with the big dog, with our worst players. If Craig Stammen goes out there and starts the game, I'm going to be furious.
I would rather see Gore. He just threw 8 Ks in 4.2 innings.
Against 17-year-olds and 18-year-olds.
I do not care, Trevor. That's something to build on, and we need him today.
I'm just saying.
That's all I have to say is I would
Trey
rather
Turner,
ask him.
Albert Pujols, Justin Turner, they are 18-year-old Arizona Central League guys. They can hit 94, 95.
We turn up versus them boys.
And
Turn
Gore,
up versus them boys.
everything I've seen about Gore is literally descending.
Always.
He was a number 5 prospect.
The whole entire Padres team right now is descending, so why not we'll just throw him on the fucking bus too?
He's the fucking leader of the bus. Throw him in hurt. Throw him in, gets hurt.
The one reason why I don't think we have brought him up is because once we bring him up and he gets raked, or if he gets raked, his value just goes down the shitter. Like, we can't trade him for no one now. Like 2 years ago, we could have got him for some high ass prospects. Probably Trey Turner and Max Scherzer. 2 years ago, if we would have offered them Matt Gore and whatever package, I guarantee everyone's accepting that. But now it's like, who wants Matt Gore? Like, I can definitely see AJ putting together some bullshit.
I'm sure
Matt Gore, Myers
would have been, and Will Myers for Mookie Betts would have been exactly what the Red Sox took.
Oh yeah,
my point exactly.
So,
Now there's no shot we're getting Mookie. I mean, there's no shot we're getting a Mookie caliber player or Matt Gore.
Yeah, and I still haven't heard about the prospect they sent to the Red Sox.
Jeter Downs?
Have you heard about him since they sent him? Mookie won a ring.
That was the fucking stupidest trade in MLB history. That was worse than James Fields for Fernando Tatis.
Damn near.
Like, and MLB wonders why they got fucking power teams and stacked teams, because you got fucking the Dodgers making dumbass trades like that.
Yeah, that's what kind of like ruined my year. I'm not going to lie to you. The Ken Rosenthal fake bomb.
$280 million.
Dodgers blink and they have 2 MVP All-Star type players.
Terrible. It's terrible.
Well, we're facing them this week as
Ken
the Dodgers.
Rosenthal should be banned from Twitter after that. He should be banned for at least 30 days. Like,
bro, and the one thing that sucks is it was all a gimmick. It was all for the Dodgers to make the national. Yes.
I think it was for.
They used Boris to talk to Ken, and Ken throws out a tweet saying Padres are near. And then the Dodgers go,
sure?
Here's our 1 and 2 prospects. Oh my God. Ugh. And then
yeah, fuck Ken Rosenthal. If I ever see him.
You're gonna beat his ass?
No, I'm just gonna tell him.
Guy's 5'5". I'm beating his ass.
I'm just gonna tell him delete Twitter. You're a fraud journalist.
You're a fraud.
I don't care if he's whatever, Ken Rosenthal. He's a fraud.
Well, Padres 68-58, 13 games out of first. Who would have saw the Giants do this? Not me.
Fuck the Giants. They're fucking on roids.
Yeah.
Sorry for the language.
Something fishy going on over there.
Yeah. That has a lot to do with what I'm talking about. I'm hoping for MVP Fernando Tatis to save this year.
Who else would it be? Nobody.
You know,
Personally, I
We got a
cannot give
nice
an MVP
36
to
game
a guy
sprint.
who is on a team that is 500, aka Bryce Harper. I can't give an MVP to a guy like that. He's out the window now. His team's done. Jacob DeGrom, out the window.
he doesn't
See you later,
qualify.
buddy.
Got
Yep,
hurt.
gone. Who else? Who else? Say some names and need him. Trey Turner. No, he's not. You take him
I
off the
mean-
Dodgers. The Dodgers are still whatever they are. Whatever they
Shohei
are.
Ohtani.
Freddie Freeman.
AL.
Different-
He's on the
different-
AL.
Yeah, different. Yeah.
Freddie Freeman. I love that, but he won last year, so no one's gonna win back-to-back MVPs.
I mean, if there's someone that's second, it's Freddie Freeman to me. I don't think they go back-to-back MVPs because
What about Chris Bryant?
no.
No, I mean I like Nick Castellanos, but he's been hurt
Oh, Nick
for a while.
Castellanos?
and his numbers aren't as stunning as they were.
I
But I
don't even
do
think he
like Nick.
qualifies anymore. I don't even see him on here.
I don't know who's second, honestly. Because in the AL, you got Ohtani and Vladdy Jr. Like Vladdy Jr. wins an MVP the season he's having, probably 99 out of 100 years. And this 1 year, Ohtani comes and just does what he's doing.
What about CJ Cron?
No.
CJ
on the
Cron's
second
having a good
worst.
year though.
He's
on the
having a
second
great
worst
year,
team in
bro.
baseball.
He absolutely obliterated the Padres.
I mean, it's Fernando Tatis Jr. Bryce Harper, no. I mean, Juan Soto, that Nationals team's terrible. He's having a good year. Winker's having a good year, but
Walker Buehler.
Most valuable player. That's how I look at it. And you can't win most valuable player if your team is 500 or not making the playoffs. Like the only
Well-
guy who I've known that's done that is Mike Trout, and Mike Trout is GOAT. He's a GOAT.
Yes.
He's goated. No one's above Mike Trout. He's goated.
This is true.
So I don't know. It's tough.
Fernando Tatis wins it. Deal
I
done.
think he does win it because the Padres haven't done anything close to his record in,
It'll be
how long-
Shohei and Tatis. You heard it here first.
and I shit you not, those are my bets in Vegas probably year and a half ago. I said Fernando Tatis MVP.
Oh yeah.
Ohtani was
Did you make the bet though?
kind of out of this world. I did make a bet, not for me though.
Ah, then you didn't believe it. You didn't trust yourself.
Ohtani is out of this world. Ohtani is MVP for sure. He's having I don't think people talk about him enough. Like this is something never before seen.
Nobody will ever do this again. He's the only
No.
guy that's gonna do this.
Like
You know what
this
kind of bullcrap they do
season
talk about him about?
from Shohei Ohtani will go down in the history books as the greatest season ever played by a professional baseball player all time, hands down.
If
We're
people
not
out
seeing
there,
that.
yeah, and if people out there truly think that there'll be another Ohtani, not for another 100 years. Just like there was only one Babe Ruth, there's only one Shohei Ohtani, and those are 100 years apart. So
It's crazy coincidence how they're legitly 100 years apart.
yeah,
And I hope Shohei goes on a tear and for years to come. Like
Oh yeah.
this is something that I think baseball needs to open up to more
imagine.
because there's a lot of guys who get this shut down. A lot
Yeah.
of guys are two-way
Mike Trout
players
said it's literally like
their
Little
whole
League. He
life.
Throws 9 innings, hits a home run, goes to right field. Crazy.
Yeah. That is crazy. And to think about it from this, imagine he plays let's say he only gets 10 years of Major League Baseball in.
Greatest.
What if his pitching career is a Hall of Fame career and then his hitting career is also Hall of Fame?
2 gold
How?
jackets? 2
How?
gold jackets?
How is that possible?
He will
I
be
don't
the greatest
understand.
player all time if this continues.
You will no longer know who Babe Ruth is. Our kids will now know Shohei Ohtani. They'll forget about Babe Ruth.
I'm gonna make my kid Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei
name him.
Ohtani
I'm gonna name him Shohei Ohtani.
has 40 home runs, 88 RBIs,
And he doesn't sign
114 hits,
autographs after the
19
World Series.
stolen
Only signs
bases,
kids autographs.
Not adults.
270, 336, and over 1,000 OPS.
I think the most
bro.
impressive part about that is the 23 stolen bases. Are you shitting me?
40 homers, 23 stolen bases, and then he's pitched 100 innings, has a 2.79 ERA, and 120 strikeouts.
I think
You know
that's-
when Babe Ruth was a two-way player, and he only did it a couple years. Like the one thing is he started as a pitcher, Then his last 2 years in Boston did both, and then with the Yankees he was literally just a hitter, pitched rarely, and he only had 30 strikeouts one
I
year.
mean, he was playing against farmers though,
Only
coal
had
miners.
no, not with the bat, with his arm. 30 strikeouts. That was it.
Only.
He had to have been literally chucking 80 poo. Like he had to have been 80 poo contact only. I got to change up that 70 poo.
But what I'm trying to say is Shohei Ohtani is doing unreal things. He has over 120 strikeouts. That's more than a strikeout per inning
And
pitched.
today's the best played baseball since it started.
Yes. The game of
Crazy.
baseball has never been better. We have so much talent from all over the world that comes in, and but back in the day, guys would pitch full innings. Randy Johnson, Nolan Ryan, complete games up and down. Now you're getting guys 5-6 pitchers a game who are giving you everything they have for an inning. That is the wildest thing. You are facing the best talent each and every time you go out there. And for Shohei Ohtani to have these kind of stats
It's amazing.
is
I love to see it.
absolutely unreal. It needs to be talked about more. And bleep this, I hope, but F Jack Morrison, the Hall of Famer, don't care for what he was doing, talking about Shohei Ohtani. He was making fun of him, his race, live on broadcast.
Crazy.
They were broadcasting the Tigers versus Angels game. And
How do you
Ohtani
not have
was
that?
up.
Like, how do you not have self-control to just? I'm not gonna say this right now. Like, come on, guy. I know you're a 65-year-old white conservative male, but come on, like, figure it out.
There's no place in the game like that. And why do we have
No place in nothing for
65-year-old
that.
males in there anyway? They're not talented, nor funny, or entertaining anymore. Okay, you want Hall of
Get 'em out.
Famers in
Hey,
there?
Get 'em out.
There are younger Hall of
He's the
Famers.
Tigers.
Who do
He's on
better.
the Tigers. They literally probably only have 5 Hall of Famers. Like, he's their savior. He's their
There are
holy grail.
better players that they could pick from. Why not
100%.
Prince Fielder? He played for the Tigers.
He's got a
How
kid.
electric would Prince? Every adult has kids. Are you
He's
kidding
coaching
me?
though, isn't he? He's coaching his kid. I'm pretty sure he's a high school coach.
A-Rod got 6 kids, does Sunday Night Baseball. There's
Hey,
different ways. You could
Watch
stream
your mouth
from
about
your
A-Rod.
house.
Watch your mouth about A-Rod.
You could stream from your house. It doesn't matter. You could get more electric people. They don't even have to be on the Tigers. There are more electric people to broadcast games. And if MLB wants to get more ratings and views, get better broadcasters. Padres broadcasting is by far the best in baseball. And there's a reason, because they bring energy to both sides of the ball. Doesn't matter if it's Padres, doesn't matter if it's the other team. They're going to bring you energy every time, every pitch.
And I love how when the umpires fuck up, they're all on his head.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
on his head.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think he
That
went
was-
there every
that
check
was fucking
swing
brutal.
or
That was terrible.
Machado was on
Oh,
that guy's
that was
head
terrible.
that day. He got
Hey, and
thrown
I'm
out.
glad Machado was getting in their face.
Machado was on that fool's
The hard part of
head.
the season.
Ooh,
Yeah.
bruh. I'm glad he got his money worth. That umpire
Oh, yeah.
needed it. He's never coming back to San Diego. He'll
Oh,
never
no.
do a Padres game again. Because if he
He
comes back to
was
San Diego,
terrible.
I'm throwing a beer at him.
All right, guys. Well,
Wait. I wanted to. I think a guy who would come in second right now. I had to say it. I'm sorry. Joey Votto, second place,
Yeah, I was gonna say
having
that.
an unreal
I don't
year.
know how you
I was
guys were
arguing with
thinking
someone
that.
about Twitter on something like that. He's
was-
having an unreal year, but Tatis is blowing his stats out of the water.
blowing
Correct.
the stats out of the water.
And sleeper Austin Riley, but it's all right. Freddie Freeman's above him in my eyes for the number 3.
Tati's gonna win it. Don't care.
Hati has to win it. No ifs, ands, or buts.
All right.
Nothing
Make
wrong
sure
with
you
being
check
average,
us out.
guys.
Oh, you're stealing my line. Are you kidding me?
Are you shitting me?
I have control of this.
Go.
Like and subscribe. Check us out. Apple, Spotify, anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Comment down below.
YouTube, you're listening to this now, or you're listening to anywhere. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere. Linktree in the comments section down below. Nothing wrong with being average.
We out.
Later.